Guys, Bitcoin hit finally $100,000. We waited for that. It feels like ages, guys. But we finally did it. And in today's show, I'm going to show you exactly what I expect to happen next for Bitcoin and also for major altcoins that we can trade right now. Let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here again on this, what is it today? Thursday, actually. It's already Thursday. Sometimes, you know me already, so I lose track which day it actually is of the week. We have right now 66 people on here on the stream. 21 likes, oh, now over 100, finally. Guys, smash the like button. More people need to see the stream. The more you like it, the more YouTube is going to push it. So let's get this at least to like 100 likes. That at least a couple more people will come into the stream. We're gonna start off really quickly with the DXY. Remember what I said yesterday, that I expect further rejection from here, from that 106.5 level. That is exactly what we are seeing here right now. That is one of the contributing factors why Bitcoin went actually higher, but there were a lot of other factors that we're gonna talk about here in a second. So here, exactly as expected, continuation to the downside, next stop 105.5, and then potentially even lower into Christmas. Now, we get straight into the juicy part with Bitcoin. Bitcoin has broken this downward sloping trend line that was holding us down, has taken out the high at $99,500, has broken above the VPVR cluster. The stochastic turned to the upside, the MACD flipped bullish, and the RSI also turned up. Here is still room to go higher, guys, on the 12-hourly chart. So this might not be over just yet. We can potentially get a little bit higher, and I'm going to show you in a moment to which level I believe we are going to get here. So the technical target that I had given off this inverse head and shoulders pattern on hourly chart yesterday was already smashed here in that move to the upside. On the 1 hourly chart, we are just consolidating a little bit, which is fine, while the indicators are coming down. Absolutely normal after we smashed a new all-time high. So here, as long as we keep consolidating between 100K and what was it, 104K, yeah, $104,600, we might get here continuation. And we, if I go to 30 minutes, let's see. So here, we are just forming a symmetrical triangle that might break any moment here to the upside. Yeah, actually, in a little bit more than a minute, we should put a buy signal in on the stochastic RSI, which could lead to that the price will start breaking out here out of that symmetrical triangle to the upside. So, and that target is, I think, a little bit higher than the all-time high from today. Yeah, it's at $105,150 if we gonna get that. Then on the 4-hourly chart, here is something that I don't like about this breakout. If you watch me for a while, you know that about me, that I said here in these ascending triangles, we have a sweet spot where we should break out. If we break out beforehand, it's usually not a good sign, because it's opening up the possibility that we are round tripping and that this is just a fake out, come back into the triangle and start breaking to the downside. So, and this is exactly what happened here. So that is for me something where I say, okay, I need to pay a little bit attention to Bitcoin, what's going to happen here, because the breakout from a timeline perspective was too early in that pattern. So if it would have broken out here on Friday or just over the weekend into Monday, it would have been fine anywhere here in between, but we basically broke out 2 days, yeah, 1.5 days too early, so that's why I'm also keeping a close eye here on that chart. But there's another warning sign that I'm seeing, and that is here from the MDX algo gradients. First of all, we had put in here a small W pattern that broke to the upside. The target was almost reached. We are also tapped here the 2.618 Fibonacci golden ratio level. That was the reason why we retraced from there. Remember, when we are breaking into all-time highs and you want to get targets where you can take profit, you can only do that with Fibonacci extensions highly accurately, as you can see here. You know, we tapped into this, straight came back down a little bit to another Fibonacci level where we are currently getting supported from. Now on the MDX Algo scalp gradients, the big problem that I have is that we are getting here already take profits signals, which are not always highly accurate, but they're an early warning sign that this move might soon end and that we are turning down. The other warning sign that I'm getting is here from the reactor indicator with the dot plot. But also here, I still believe that we have a little bit more room, because usually when we turn down, we either get a second plot or we start to get here these R's, which means that we get bearish divergences. So this has not happened yet. So here might be another plot coming before we turn down, or the bearish divergences before we get that downturn. Because sometimes what happens is when we get the second plot, let's say we get this here within that 4-hourly candle, at some point, what sometimes happens, the reactor indicator comes down, gets another wave up, and the price does the same, and then here somewhere is the top. Now, based on the 4-hourly chart, we could technically, if we manage in the next, let it be by tomorrow's daily close, before tomorrow's daily close, so that's what I want to say. If we trade above $104,556, we could reach here $111, $112, $114,000. But I believe that there, up here, and I said this for a long time, I said when we break $100,000, up here somewhere might be the point where we turn around. So that, of course, means that some altcoins can still run a little bit. But remember, many altcoins are also hitting already resistances. They are also slowing down in terms of momentum, which is also an indication that we get already a little bit exhaustion in the market, and early warning signs that we potentially slowly but surely turning around soon. On ZoomX, here my Solana trade almost in profit again. Also the Solana trade that I gave yesterday, no, not the Solana trade, the render trade that I gave yesterday on ZoomX. If you are in my Telegram, you saw how this one actually exploded overnight. We're going to talk about render here in a moment. Again, if you want to trade with us together in Telegram, sign up on ZoomX, deposit $500. We're trading with these $500 and try to turn this before Christmas into $10,000. Right now, my account is sitting at $1,300 still after that move from render. So we are on a good way there already. There's a link in the description for that. So then here on the liquidation levels, the high leverage liquidity on the short side was taken out. So here that big impulse move was basically a short squeeze when we broke here these highs. That is now gone. We have now, sorry, what happened here? Let's go back. There we go. So we have now below us more long liquidity sitting that had built up on the way up. So that is over here. And also over here. So these are the first targets once we are turning around, and that is now 96,000 to 95,500 and 94,000 to 93,000. What is that? 93,300 approximately. I don't believe anymore that we would ever break below $87,000, $89,000, but I still believe that 89,000 might be in the cards, even if we push to like $110,000, $112,000. So I still believe that that might be still possible, because it would be a 30% move, I think, from here, 110 down here. No, even, yeah, so that is just a 20% correction. So which is absolutely normal in a bull run for Bitcoin. So that is definitely still a viable scenario that we come all the way down here in this correction, guys. And something else that you need to understand if this is your first bull run, in a bull run, to get a 20% correction, that's not unheard of, and is still kind of like a mild correction for Bitcoin. Bitcoin in other bull runs pulled 40, 37, 38, 29% corrections to the downside before it continued to rally into higher prices. So keep that in mind, you know. So and you can use as an indicator where we most likely bounce off from on the 4-hourly chart. Use the 200 moving average. So that is a moving target, and as you see, it's sloping here to the upside. And of course, the longer we are not getting the correction, the higher the EMA is going up here, and the higher will be then also the level that we potentially get the bounce from. But I still would expect that we get a wick below the 200 moving average and then come above it and continue the upwards trend. So from a liquidity perspective, let me actually refresh that because we are way higher. The first level on the weekly chart would be here 101 to the downside. From there, we would accelerate really quickly below $100,000, and then we would stop here at the $97,700 level that I spoke yesterday about, that we need to break that to push here into higher levels. So if that is not holding support and we're going through that, then we go here into the next liquidity pockets here at 93,200 and then potentially even lower from there. I still have also some new trades on Bybit running that I'm going to show you. Remember, you still get $500 if you deposit $100 when you sign up on Bybit. This ends here in less than 2 weeks, guys. Also take advantage of that. It's free money. It's free money, guys. You know, deposit $100, claim the airdrop voucher in the rewards hub, use the airdrop voucher, and all the profits belong to you. Sorry, I had to turn on the AC. I was already thinking, why do I start sweating here in my office? So then also, you can also get some free airdrops here in the 6th anniversary of Bybit. I think this is ending tomorrow. So you have only until tomorrow to complete here some tasks to get some free money once you complete here some tasks on Bybit. So now on Bybit, I have an injective trade running. I was actually sharing when I started the trade this in my Telegram. I did not say that you should enter there because I thought it's a little bit risky because it's still at resistance, you know, so it has to go here above that resistance for continuation. But I'm also going to talk here in a moment about that injective trade and what I expect from it. And something else I wanted to show you guys, I did not show that for a long while. Remember when I showed you the last time my Bybit account at what number this was sitting? It was like $160,000, $170,000. I'm close to $200,000 right now. So I think I'm going to smash through $200,000 by tomorrow or after tomorrow here on that account. And again, I want to mention here, guys, I'm not trading with insane amounts on this account. I'm not betting my house. You know, all the profits that I made, I want to keep them. I trade here with 5-10% of my account, you know, not more. This is way more than enough. And I have stop losses on some of my trades or limit orders on the trades. You know, for example, here on AVAX, there's no stop loss, but I have a limit order to average my liquidation price down if this turns around. You know, here I have already a stop loss on it that I walk away with money. You know, so if you're trading 5 to 10% right now, wait for the correction. Trust me, it's going to pay off so well. You have no idea how well this is going to pay off if you have the majority of your profits right now on the sideline and only play around with 5 to 10%. Because this, you can see here that the dominance is already bouncing to the upside. And I can tell you already, we will more or less follow this trajectory now for the dominance. So it can happen that we come a little bit higher here. And I expect that to happen when Bitcoin actually starts to break down. So in the meantime, this technically, maybe it comes all the way back up to 58% and does this pattern then from there, you know. So this is basically just for explanatory purposes, you know. So this can well go here like this. Come on. This can look something like this. Just that you know, on the way to the upside. So because imagine Bitcoin starts to sell off, what do people immediately do? Because they know altcoins are getting wrecked, you know, they go back to Bitcoin or sit in USDT, and the dominance is shooting up like crazy, you know. So and this level should now act as resistance. When this is happening, then the dominance will come down again because people go back into altcoins when that dump is over. And then you see another small flush, and then the dominance breaks down, and then we go in a full-fledged altcoin season. So, but when the dominance comes up here, you want to sit in with the majority of your money in cash and buy the dip as hard as you can, because once that dip is over, even with that secondary dip, which will be not as low as the first one, you will be already in profit then. You know, you will sit in profit and can just chill once that is happening. Also here, the total free market cap, I think in the short term, let's look at this here. In the short term, I think that might have been here the top in the short term, and I expect the total free here now to follow this trajectory also over the next, what is this, 3 weeks to follow this trajectory to the downside before we are then turning around again. So Ethereum might before that run past $4,000. We are really close here to break above $4,000. We are above the VPVR cluster, but also here at some point price is going to turn around when we hit one of these resistances. The indicators are all overextended here on the daily chart. The stochastic, the RSI is already struggling a little bit to get here into overbought territory and to turn around. And the stochastic is also running out of steam here pretty soon. You know, soon we will start flatlining here, and then we start to come down. So, but in the meantime, for Ethereum, I expect potentially, if we can break $3,967, that we could get a wick, only a wick, really quickly up here, and then it comes down. But also really, really, really fast once it hits this. Because we have not been up here for 3 years. And remember what happened with other coins, you know, that were at a 3 years resistance. The first reaction was a quick move back to the downside. So if you're currently trading Ethereum and you entered, let's say from here, where I gave it to you, or from here, you're fine. You're sitting in profits, you know, so just raise your stop losses along the way. And currently I would have my stop loss at $3,810 approximately. So keep it tight, you know, so because it can already turn around from here, from this level of resistance, and here that level of resistance. There's no guarantee right now that this is actually smashing through, you know. So if you're in a trade like that, make sure that you have stop loss really tight below the current candle. And the reason for that is also that the Ethereum Bitcoin chart here is currently pulling back and is creating an ugly doji candle. You know, so if this kind of closes like this, next week could look again like this, you know, where we create a higher low, here was the low, higher low, and only then it does something like this. So when I saw this morning, I was like, oh, this is getting close to the resistance, when it was still here with a candle body, kind of like here. And I was already wondering, you know, so is it pushing through here or testing it completely on that line, you know, so, and then it started already to pull back. And that's why you see many, many altcoins not doing so well today, even though you have some of the altcoins, again, doing moderate gains. Then on Solana, oh, that just happened. When I looked before the stream at Solana, it was at $237, more or less, I think. So that's actually nice to see. So Solana is going for the current resistance. If Solana breaks through that resistance, we get continuation here on the daily chart. Next stop after breaking $265 will be here the golden ratio, $281, $295. If we can find support in here, we break 300 and go then in direction of $370 and $400 for Solana. So Solana coins might do then also delayed well. There are some coins running with Solana, but there are also a lot of coins that are running just after Solana. In terms of indicators, here RSI looking good, MACD turning around, Stochastic just gave a buy signal yesterday, it's also going here to the upside. So like I said, if we get a daily close here above current prices at 245, 248, something like this, you get a really nice candle by tomorrow here to the upside. Render, so now let's talk about Render. So I know a lot of you guys were in that trade with me together on Render, and the exchanges, they fucked us. They really fucked us across the board. So because we had our take profit point here, because it was supposed to be a scalp, overnight we got also fucked, you know, so when it went here massively down, and I taught you guys a lesson when you were in the Telegram, you know what I'm talking about. And when we actually hit our take profit point, every single exchange closed us at around $9. So I can show it to you. Let me show it to you here, Render. Close PLN. So here, everybody got closed at $8.99.6. The exact number for everyone, even across different exchanges, which is insane. So, and I complained for you guys to ZoomX about this and said, hey, this cannot happen. This is something, I have never seen something like this, you know, because Render is not a shitcoin. with no liquidity. So if I go to CoinMarketCap here and I look at render, come on, give me render. So render, look here, volume, $5 billion in volume, $5 billion. So, and then here, market cap, $5.29 billion. So usually, here's something, again, another lesson, guys, how you can spot coins that might pump like crazy. When volume starts to be bigger than the market cap, and you see it early enough before it's actually happening, huge move coming, huge move in this coin to the upside. So here you see the volume today is crazy for render. That's why we got that big move. So, and now the reason that I believe why we got not filled at our take profit point is a market maker wanted to make money. A market maker saw that here is major resistance and had a lot of sell orders there. And when the market, and then another market maker wanted to push this higher, and potentially also retail and some other companies maybe, so some other whales wanted to push this. They basically overran that other market maker with these sell orders. The market maker held back these sell orders. They were not in the order book, so you put them into the order book, these sell orders, and that created a huge slippage across the whole market for that coin, and that's why we got filled 3% below our take profit point, which usually should not happen. I know some of you guys have complained to Bybit already about this. They gave you a bullshit answer. I was expecting that they're too big to care about this, but ZoomX is different. And I hope that they're going to rectify, at least for everyone on ZoomX, that problem, at least for our community, because how much money could we have made altogether there? Nothing crazy, maybe $10,000, $20,000 in profit is what I guess altogether, so that is a small amount for them. And I really believe that they're going to give us the profit of that, because they know, if you see a candle like this, and I'm going to show you another proof, so that there were no sell orders, that this should have happened to us, so the 10 seconds chart, guys, the 10 seconds chart. So where was that initial? So here somewhere. So here was the initial move somewhere. I think it was this one here. Where did, no, here. That's where we got fucked. So, yeah. So look at this. There's one other candle on the 10 seconds chart. This candle here. This candle, sorry, the first one here. This candle is the candle that filled us. And you see here, there where sell orders came in was at $9.27, where that wick was created. So we should have gotten filled above that line, So no exchange can come to me and say, oh, there's slippage, so you got filled to the downside. The 10 seconds chart tells you exactly what happened here, So the price pushed above that, and when the price came back within a 10-second time frame, it only went to $9.27. So everybody should have gotten filled, So, and that's why I'm gonna insist, So I did not get a lot of money on that trade, like $140, but it's a principle, For the principle, I'm gonna insist that I want my money, from that take profit, regardless what they are saying. I'm gonna tell them I want my money. So otherwise, we ran into the 3.618 level here at $11.85, and you should need to understand here something with render. Render is not at an all-time high because render had a couple months ago a different ticker. So, and the levels from the old ticker still applying to the current render chart. So, and this is not the all-time high for render. So I had a look at this morning and went to some exchanges that are still the old one, like a Coinbase and Bitstamp. So I went actually to Bitstamp and looked at the daily chart. And look at this here. Look where we ran into. Major resistance from the past up here. Also, only wicks, we got only here one candle, a positive candle, okay, 2 candle closes above that level. And this was the last time here in May. And before that here, that was in March. So I knew there's big resistance. That's why I gave you that level in the past here. And the all-time high is at almost $14. Yeah, $14 at 1 cent. There's the all-time high. So if render comes back up and can keep here this level of $10.88, 89, we're gonna get another move into roughly $11.85. Yes, 85. So here it's a little bit lower on this chart. And then the next level would be $12.20, if I'm correct, on Bybit. And then here all the way up to $14, $15. So, but first we need to get above, let me get back here to the old chart. We need to get above $10.89. So that's a big level that we need to reclaim to get continuation here. So on the lower time frames, oh wait, still the wrong chart. Let me get back here to this chart. That's what I wanted. So on the 1 hourly time frame, we are still consolidating here. Let's see how the 30 minutes chart is looking. So on the 30 minutes chart, so here also something from experience. We might get here 2 rounding shapes like that, you know, almost like a W, and at the same time an ascending triangle. And then this breaks to the upside, and when you get continuation here above $12. Something that you should watch, because also the indicators are slowly turning around here on the 30 minutes chart. If this spills over into the 1 hourly chart, where you see the 1 hourly ticking up like this on the stochastic and the RSI a little bit like this, then you know, okay, that might be the play for render in the short term. You know, so for a short term trade, that might be something that you can look into. Entry would be here again, like at $10.90, 95, something like this. I would not enter this now. And then the stop loss would be actually here around $9.72. So you have to understand, again, guys, especially to the ones that trade with more than 5x leverage, even if I say maximum 5x leverage, look at this. This is an 11% move. You know, if you use more than 7x leverage, you're gonna get liquidated on that trade. You know, so when it goes down and turns against you. The next one where I still wait for a massive, massive move like in render is AVAX. So AVAX on the 4 hourly chart has completely bottomed out. Only the RSI need to tick a little bit to the upside. It's not doing that because we're here at that resistance of $54. Once we are breaking that resistance at $54, render will go here for, AVAX will go for that high over here. And most likely, as fast as render went up to almost $12, really quickly, really quickly. So I opened a trade here in this candle yesterday where we got rejected. You know what happens, so that's why my trade's a little bit underwater. So, but for you guys, look at the shorter time frames. When you see here a candle close on the 1 hourly chart above that line of $54.22, I would maybe take that risk, you know, the same risk that I took. I have to look how much I'm in a loss here right now. I know it's not a lot. AVAX, I'm 10% down at current prices, so that's fine. So let's see here, AVAX, current price 10%. How much more would I be down here? Oh, okay, that would be a little, so it would be 35%. So, but that would be kind of the stop loss that I would be using, you know. So on 5x leverage from current price, if you would enter here, all the way down to $50 roughly, $50.60, there would be my stop loss if I would enter here at the break of that line, and then upside to, what is it here? Roughly 21%. Let me see here. 1 hourly chart. Yeah, roughly 21% upside in that move. So that's okay, you know. So roughly 4% stop loss against the 21% profit, you know, that is really juicy. So and that's why I keep that trade, you know. So and even if we get further rejected from here at the next level of support, where my liquidation price also sits, funny enough, I have a limit order to average down my entry and wait for the next attempt to break this, because I know once it's breaking, it's going to send immediately to the upside. Then injective, let me explain you why I opened earlier today an injective trade, because here again, same playbook with AVAX. Once it goes here above $33.90, most likely it's going to make a leg into here that big order block with a lot of sell orders of $36.87, $37.75. And if it goes through that, after some consolidation, it will go for $38 and $40. So that's why I opened earlier today a trade on injective. But at the time when I was getting into it, was a little bit risky because I saw the lower time frames turning down and only the 4 hourly was kind of looking okay. So here again, same thing with AVAX. If you want to get into this, you need to wait a little bit longer. like here, another 15 cents before I would get into this, and also only if you get at least a 30-minute candle close above that level. So look here. Here's also kinda an ascending, a small ascending triangle if I would draw it from here. So if it breaks here above that and 30-minute candle closes there, you could enter, but look here at the stochastic. The stochastic is not looking good on the 30 minutes, you know, so that it could push above here, but then most likely it comes down a little bit, you know, consolidates here, goes above, and then it's going to go up. So maybe I would, maybe I would wait for that, you know, that the stochastic comes a little bit down, at least on the 15 minutes, if not already on the 30 minutes, you know, at least on the 15 minutes, that it comes a little bit down. And then look where the stochastic bottoms out. And once you see the stochastic bottoming out here and giving another buy signal, that's where I would enter regardless where the price is, because 4 hourly has so much more room to go to the upside. As long Bitcoin is staying where it currently is or is going higher, Injective will go higher. I can promise you that. Then the next one that I'm looking at, Aptos. Aptos already made here a crazy move here. So this kind of was still red earlier when I looked at that on the daily chart. On the 4 hourly chart also, here same thing with Injective, you know, so that Aptos is here basically one candle or one, it's one 4 hourly candle behind Injective currently in terms of the setup of the indicators. We just got the buy signal here, momentum shifting to the buyer side. Here, I'm not currently entering this, just that you know, so because I want that we at least break here this level. $14.46, that's where I would enter this, or if it pulls back to $13.30 and $13.75, somewhere in between here, there I would risk it to open this, and my stop loss would be here at $12.50. And because this is also soon at an all-time high. So let me show it to you actually. Look at this here on the weekly chart. On the weekly chart, let me move this quickly away, and also this here. So here, this current weekly candle can technically go all the way up to $15.70, and if it breaks above that, it could go as high as $17. So from current prices, let's say it doesn't pull back, just keep staying there. That was wrong. So this $15.70, that is already an 11.5% move, and all the way up here, it's roughly 21% to the upside. And here with Aptos is also one thing that you should not forget. That is one of the new coins for this cycle. This can technically, once it gets up here, once it runs here into this resistance up here, just consolidate for like a week or two, and then it goes absolutely parabolic like this to the upside. So right now, this is actually still good for a long-term accumulation where it's sitting, because once it breaks here, this W pattern, it will go really quickly parabolic to the upside. Next one that I'm also still looking at is Polkadot. On the daily, we start to get overbought, but as long as we are holding above $10.39, on the shorter time frames, I might consider it for a trade. So as long as we are holding here above $10.50, we are currently here sitting at a resistance block. If I want to find an entry here, I would also wait for the 15 minutes stochastic to come down first, which might give us the opportunity to get in here at $10.50, and then it actually goes into higher levels. So now for Polkadot to the upside, once it takes out here that high at $11.88, it's going close to $20, also really quickly. If I go to a weekly chart, look here. That is first $13.50, then $16.43, and all the way up here, $22. So this will also happen really quickly, because look at this here. This is a huge accumulation phase that has not broken out yet. So, and what you get afterwards is here, expansion to the upside in that block. So the expansion can, so again, this is just an example, it can go much higher than that, so, but you get here a small expansion phase to the upside where we start consolidating in, and then you get the real run. And the real run is short, but really high. So, and you could get something like this here. So once we get here above that $11.88 level, it's going to send really fast to the upside over the coming weeks here in this bull run. So that's why I'm also building a dot position on some platforms. I have a lot of dot from last cycle on spot on my Kraken account, but I want to see that we break this here on the weekly chart before I'm going to enter this. So once we get a weekly candle above, that's where I open a long position. Not before, because here overextended, on the daily, overextended. I want that this is broken first. More or less the same also with Uniswap. Here on the 4 hourly again, potentially short-term trade, good setup. Let's see on the 1 hourly chart. 1 hourly chart could pull back here in the short term, at least to the 50 moving average to $15 roughly. So here any bounce from the 50 moving average, I would use as an entry and have my stop loss here at $14.37. So, and that is not crazy. From here to here, see that is roughly 5%. On 5x leverage would be 25%. And then let's look at the upside from there to here. So, but you have here 12% to the upside. So absolutely fine to take that trade. If it breaks above $17, let's see where it goes. Yeah, so I think most likely gets rejected here at $17. If we get a nice surprise and it breaks above that, it might shoot here to $18.75 all the way up to roughly $20. So, and just from current, yeah, let's take it from here, $18. It's another 10% or another 20% move to the upside. And this will happen in one weekly candle, you know, so if it breaks to $20,000, it's in the same week that this is going to happen. I'm gonna have a look here quick in the chat because I did not have a look at all what's going on there. 37 minutes already on the chart. I have to speed up a little bit. But no worries, no worries. I'm gonna stick around a little bit for you guys. I'm not leaving soon, but at some point. And I still have to go here through a couple of charts. I'm gonna talk about Casper. I'm gonna talk about Sui, guys. No worries about that. XRP overextended, already correcting, you know, so I would not touch it right now. ENS, yeah, also interesting. Yeah, definitely interesting. ENS is a beta play for Ethereum. When Ethereum runs, ENS is running. Let me go here a little bit higher. Okay, let me go back to the charts. Telegram. So Telegram also one of the coins that I'm currently in a trade on another platform, but also here currently sitting at resistance but the 4 hourly chart is looking good. You know, so the indicators are telling me that we potentially push a little bit higher, but also here in the short term, I'm not trading this higher than here this big resistance up here. I'm not so sure if it can go above that and touch the all-time high in the next, let's say, 3-4 days. And even if it gets up here to the all-time high, I expect a rejection from there, back down here, gain momentum, and only then go into a new all-time high to $10 or even above $10. So, and this will also happen really, really quickly in the expansion phase. So here currently, let's see the daily chart, how this is looking. Yeah, that looks also like continuation if we break above or close above the $7 mark today. And then we definitely get continuation. On the daily chart, I would say to at least $8. I need to have a dry mouth already from speaking so much, guys. So now let me try to find, yeah. So entry, guys, you see here on the stochastic, on the 1 hourly, we are pulling most likely back a little bit. So I want to get you an entry. Let's see a 15 minutes chart. So I use actually a lot the 15 minutes chart to find entries for short-term trades, and that's also what you should potentially do. And then what I do next, I look where I have a lot of support, like here, or even a little bit below that, like here, into these wicks. And these are done the levels where I put limit orders. You know, when I see stochastic is potentially coming down a little bit, you know, nothing crazy. So this would be a 2% move to the downside. Again, in the bull market, that's absolutely fine. You know, you get here 2-3% swings to the downside, and then you get another 10% to the upside. So I would set here some limit orders. Also here at $6.62. If one of them gets hit, you know, you are in, and then you get the continuation to the upside. Phantom, we need to talk about Phantom, guys, because Phantom looks ready to put in another leg here on the 4-hourly chart. You know, I start regretting when it came down here that I did not try to open some positions, you know, so because I want to sit in cash, you know, I was like, this is too risky for me. I'm not that kind of degen, you know, so I was like, I was really biting in my hand, you know, that I'm not pulling the trigger, you know, so now I regret it a little bit that I didn't. So, but overall, I still expect also for Phantom that at some point a pullback is coming, but in the short term, it might keep going higher to like $1.40, maybe even all the way up to $1.50. What is this? 54 before this starts to pull back. Here also, if you want to get into a new trade for Phantom, you need here a 30-minute candle close above $1.27. Only there I would risk it. And my stop loss would be, I would put it a little bit lower, maybe like here at $1.21. So, and then either it runs or it doesn't run, but I believe with this candle here already and how the indicators are looking, this is going to run over the next couple hours here more to the upside. I don't know if I ever mentioned that no, I actually did. So, but just in case that you have forgotten this, and that is a rule that always works, guys, especially on higher time frames. On the 4-hourly chart, it works on the 12-hourly, it works on the daily chart. On lower time frames, sometimes not so much, but on the higher time frames, it's pretty accurate. If you get wicks to the upside or to the downside, they don't have to get filled completely, but they usually get filled eventually. So, and here we have now these 2 wicks to the upside, and you see price trying to break above that level here. And that gives me confidence that we at least going to reach $1.35 here once we are breaking above this. And from there, most likely getting a little bit continuation where we create another wick, you know, so then we come down again. And then at some point, we fill that other wick again that we created here to the upside. You can go back, you know, look here. Here's a wick, got filled in this move, you know, violently. Then here that wick to the downside, filled here this wick, you know, so you can look at this, it's always working out. Then near is also one that you should definitely have an eye on currently because it is also close to a major resistance level. If it breaks here above $8.30, it's going to fly the same way that render was flying today. The same way, guys. So maybe there's one quick stop at $8.41 at these resistance levels here. But once it is above that, you know, it's just going to smash past $10 really quickly. So here I would currently not enter on the daily chart. Let me see on the 4-hourly chart how this is looking. Yeah, I would not enter this right now. So there might be another opportunity that this comes back down to the underlying order block here. And there I would set some limit orders at $70.40, $7.08. So there I would place my limit orders because that looks like that it first needs to consolidate a little bit so that the indicators come down. And then it gets that nice move here to the upside. So a little bit more patience here, a little bit more patience. ICP, on the daily chart, this looks like a topping formation already with the candles. That level was not flipped into support when I made it green. But once we are breaking this level, again, expansion to the upside in direction here of $19.17. And if we break that, it also shoots way higher. Remember here, ICP was a crazy coin. Look at this here. This comes, the all-time high comes here from $62. You know, we are at $14.58 right now. So just that you see here, you know, so here, just to give you a comparison, which coin Aptos. So here, so similar to Aptos, here, just that you see what's coming for Aptos, you know. So here we had that phase, that consolidation phase. Oh, come on. Down here, where Aptos is still in. Come on. This is annoying. So here, that consolidation phase. And then you see what happened afterwards, you know, here in that phase, how quick that went to the upside into the next resistance. So here it will now consolidate a little bit. And when it breaks above that, then you get here the absolute insane parabolic move in ICP over the next coming weeks. So that's why I showed you this on Aptos, you know, because some coins did this already, you know. So, and here ICP is close to this to pull a move like that. Then Cardano, we need a break of this downward sloping trend line and that horizontal level at $1.23, where I actually entered in that trade. But here, look at the 4-hourly chart. It looks like it's turning around, you know, so and goes soon to the upside. It's just struggling a little bit to break above that level. Once it breaks that, I expect here also expansion to $1.38, you know, in 1 or 2 candles really quick to the upside. So, but also here I expect that we're gonna stop a little bit, because if you go and look here, there is some resistance up there. Here at $1.46. And I expect that we are not smashing through this immediately, you know, through that level. So we're most likely gonna get a rejection somewhere close to it, consolidate, and then again to the upside. And here you see same thing, you know, that consolidation phase is over. We are in the midst of that next phase, and then we get the consolidation, and then we get another leg to the upside. Then I have here Arweave. So did I want to speak about Arweave today? I'm not sure anymore. I have to look. No, I wanted to talk about this, because when it breaks here, $27.50, another one that's going to send to the upside. On the 4-hourly chart, it might need another 8 hours, 7 hours actually, 7 hours to turn around the indicators completely. So in that time, you might get a nice juicy entry at $25.45. Otherwise, I would look at $27.62 to enter from there. But here is, let's have a look at this. Here is a small bull flag forming that definitely needs to break out soon. And also it's a really small one here. Otherwise the flag gets too long, you know, and then it's invalidated. But if it breaks here somewhere in the next coming hours, the target is $32.30. So from current levels, that's like, what is this, 30%? 19% to the upside. So then Rune also was breaking out here already. Yeah, no. So I would not touch Rune right now. Look here at the stochastic RSI, you know, so this looks heavily overbought on the daily, overbought. So the only moment where I would get a position into Rune would be not even that level here. I would wait for $7.86. So if it gets above that, I would consider entering, but not before. So if it comes a little bit lower, then here the trend line of that rising wedge, or here that horizontal level that we went already down today to $6.73, that would be the level where I would be looking for when this is pulling back in the short term. Not the big drop that I wait for Bitcoin, just short term. You know, so if it pulls back short term there, that's where I would enter this. So now Sui, I know a lot of you guys were asking for Sui. So Sui this morning really was insane. You know, so I saw what happened with Render, and I immediately went to Sui to have a look how Sui was behaving, and I saw that Sui was on the way to $4. So what I did was I opened really quickly a trade, and it took like 3 minutes. You know, 3 minutes here, this candle wicked to $4.05. So I got my profit and went all the way back down here to $3.72. I was thinking, should I open another trade? You know, because I knew it's coming back to fill this wick. You know, but I chickened out of that. You know, I was like, I don't know. So now it's here again, close to $4. Once it breaks $4, this is going higher. It will go here to the 3.618 to $4.40. That is also something that I would only enter like at $4.01, something like that, you know, $4.01 if you want to catch that. So you make then like almost 10% to the upside with a stop loss around current prices right now. So that's how I would trade this, because here on the daily chart, the MACD is ready to print a buy signal. On the stochastic is still a little bit room to go higher. And here the RSI starts to be soon overbought. Not yet, not yet. So there might be even a little bit more juice left in SUI. It might go close to $5 if it gets over $4.40. So that is another good trade setup. So I'm gonna have a look quick in the chat for like 5 to 10 minutes to look at some coins that you guys want that I did not speak about yet. MOG. Okay, let me look at MOG. I never charted MOG, so I have actually to, only on spot. Is this not on leverage somewhere? Really? It's only on Gate.io on leverage. Crazy. And no, this is some, okay, so. But I know it's a meme coin. So let's, this made, 2 days ago, a new all-time high. So here, this is tough. I don't like meme coins. So here, I would enter this here at that level at 26.35. When it gets to 26.35, above that, so here on the daily chart, it looks good. You know, the indicators look really, really good for continuation here. On the 4-hourly, so if that can close at least a 30 minutes candle above, I would enter this for a spot, you know, so there's no leverage on it, so you can only enter the spot. But that would be something that I would hold most likely over the whole bull run. This is not something that I would buy for a short-term flip, you know. So because these coins, they can go absolutely insane. I don't even look on a 2.618. I want the 3.618, maybe even something higher than that, 4 point and the 5.618. Because I know how these meme coins can run. So here you see already 0.786 level is really close to that resistance, you know, that we need to get over. So here might be a really easy 4x in this coin, you know. So if you want a stress-free life without leverage and get some sleep, you know, because some people didn't got sleep yesterday in that render trade, you know, so then that is something where you can just make 4x, but it will take a little bit longer than on leverage, you know. So this might take a month or two to reach that kind of level. So, and then let me have a look here. Fetch is something that I have here somewhere. Here, Fetch. So Fetch still consolidating at that resistance line. Yesterday we tried to break above that, failed, came back down, but it looks ready to break above that. So when we get here break above $1.95, I would enter that regardless. You know, spot leverage doesn't matter because this is also running soon into the prior all-time high. You see here why we are struggling, because here's also a horizontal level of resistance in Fetch here at $1.98. You know, but break $1.98, and I think it's not going to stop to run until $2.67. So like a 30% move to the upside for Fetch. So now, okay, yeah. So let me go back here. Where was I flipping charts? Figure on this one. Let me have a look. We can have a look at GRT and Theta. Where is my Theta chart? I had a Theta chart here earlier. Was it actually this one? Where I had Theta before? So here's SUI. No. I think it was here on the near chart where I had Theta earlier. Let's check. I think, did I? No, I didn't. So where's Theta here? Don't tell me. I just wanted to say the Theta top performer again today, or what? Where is here my list? Theta. I'm getting blind here now. Here. There we go. So Theta also still under resistance, like Fetch, you know. So once it breaks here $3.11, that was also the take profit that I had given you in the past, remember, from like $1 something. Once it breaks $3.11, it will go higher. Because here the all-time high was like $14 or even higher than that. So here, yeah, higher. It was almost $16, the last all-time high. So in here are some of the targets, you know, so I don't need to draw here extra lines for that. The next move would be here then to $4.45 into these resistances, then here a little bit higher to like $5.80 and so on and so on, you know. So in here again, if I take all the drawings away, look here, we are close to that big expansion phase, you know. So once it breaks here, $3, no, actually all the way up here, $4.45, it's going to send really quickly, you know, in a rapid expansion to the upside. So also here, still good for spot, you know, to accumulate that, to get here like a potential 3, 4, even 5x on Theta. So let me get my drawings back. And the other one was GRT. Yeah, I remember. So GRT, so here, GRT. What's GRT doing right now? Oh, my injective trade is printing. So GRT also, look here, still good to accumulate on spot once it breaks 36 cents, and in the worst case, 42 cents, it's shooting to the moon, you know. So, and I think it's not going to stop to go up before it's close to $1. You know, here at 95 cents, or even all the way up here, $1.10, you know, so it will not stop. It will just go really quickly in a move like this here into these levels. So guys, we had 56 minutes. I need to run. I have to be somewhere else soon. Thank you so much for tuning in here again. Once again, don't forget, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button. I know that a lot of you people that are watching are not subscribed when you see the stream, so subscribe, please, guys. And don't forget, I'm gonna see you with more profits tomorrow.